Hello everyone, and welcome to the brand new series So Far, where we'll cover anything and everything in Valorant as it is up until its current point in time. With that being said, Valorant's lore has gotten pretty complex as of recently, and as a result to a large number of you taking interest in me explaining the stories of this world over on TikTok, it's finally time that we take a crack at the timeline of Valorant so far. In order to create a timeline, we're going to need a couple things. Obviously, a beginning point to move forward from and key events that place each event in order. Now, finding that beginning is going to be pretty simple. We can get that from two cinematics titled Duelist and Duality. The Duelist cinematic gives us quite a bit of information. In the first 5 seconds, we're told that the year is MMXLIX. So a quick conversion from Roman numerals to numbers people actually use, and we're told that it all takes place in the year 2049. It then cuts to Phoenix chasing Jet through the streets of Venice while he attempts to recover what is referred to as the package. By the end of the cinematic, Jet has succeeded in her mission and detonated the spike, effectively destroying the city. But this is where Duality comes in. Remember I said we needed both cinematics to determine the beginning point? See, at the beginning of Duality, we're told that the incident in Venice was 10 years after a major world-spanning event. That would be introduced to us as the First Light. So, what is the First Light? In all honesty, we know pretty much nothing about it. We know that it was an event that affected all of Earth at the same time. We know that the Kingdom Corporation supposedly discovered Radianite as a result. And we know that because of this, select individuals from around the globe were affected and changed. These people would go on to be labeled as Radiants. This is also where the Valorant protocol comes into play. Valorant was founded by an unknown shadow organization to prevent further instances like this from occurring. Brimstone and Viper were recruited as the first two agents, and they would go on to gather at least 8 more for their skills and abilities by the time of the Duelist cinematic in Venice. Now that we've established a beginning point as 2039, we can begin to lay out each event as they play out in the timeline. So, what do we actually learn in Duality? Well, honestly, this cinematic gives us a lot of information. First, it takes place in Rabat, Morocco, or the map known as Bind in-game. Second, from a story standpoint, this is the first time we see the agents moving as a team, and it's where we first meet Killjoy as the 8th agent of Valorant. Third, it's here that we're introduced to the idea of Earth 2 and the Mirror agents. Next, we learn that the Kingdom Corporation provides 3/4 of their world's energy needs, using Radianite as a power source. And it's also in this cinematic where we learn that the spike is designed to steal said Radianite from our environment.
Hey, take a look. It's stealing Radianite from the environment.
This altercation also serves as the moment that Earth 2's agents decided to move in teams as opposed to running solo missions as a response to our heroes.
Yo, we got problems.
We? You're the one that screwed up.
You serious? You had it easy, Jet. You know they're bringing whole teams now, right?
And so will we.
Okay, let's take a second here to recap what we've learned, because honestly this can all be a lot if it's brand new to you. Starting from the top, it all begins in the year 2039 with the occurrence of the First Light. The world is introduced to Radiance, Radianite, and Valorant is created in secret. 10 years later, in 2049, the incident in Venice takes place between Mirror, Jet, and Phoenix. Almost immediately after is the Duality cinematic, where we learn that the Mirror agents want to plant spikes in order to steal our Radianite, and that they're going to start moving in teams as a response to our heroes. Moving forward, the next event to cover actually takes place in the Retake cinematic. It takes place on Icebox, or more accurately S22, one of Kingdom Corporation's container ports. This is where we're introduced to Valorant's 15th agent, Yoru. While teamed up with Phoenix, they take on Mirror Earth's Viper, Jet, and Cypher. Once again, they came to steal Radianite from the environment, but it's important to notice that this is the first time we're seeing the Mirror agents come in teams. Thanks to some voicemails left by Yoru, it's also hinted that Kingdom may have had Radianite before the First Light event.
It's me. I know you told me to leave S22 alone, but I went anyways. I searched the warship again and found dimensional scarring on the sides. I'm telling you, this didn't sail here from Japan. And the armor. If Kingdom discovered Radianite 10 years ago, why is my mask filled with it? There's more to find here. I know we have other missions, but I won't turn my back on this place. You shouldn't either.
This could have huge repercussions on the world of Valorant, but for now, we don't know anything beyond the voicemail Yoru left behind. The next major event in Valorant's timeline came with the inclusion of Chamber as Valorant's 18th agent and 17th playable character. See, Chamber has had easily the most influential role in the entire timeline so far. We're told that around 9 AFL, he and his double at some point made a deal and teamed up to destroy a teleporter at a facility known as the Everett Lind Research Facility. This would later be released to us as the map Fracture. The weirdest part is that after causing this rift between the two worlds, he and his double teamed up again in order to save Brimstone and Viper from what's referred to as an unpleasant situation. I wish we knew more about this, but unless we can figure out where this is, I think we're gonna have to just take their word for it. After saving the co-founders of Valorant, Chamber became a member of the protocol for his knowledge on creating something known as the Alpha Omega Teleporter, basically a door between the two Earths. He then recommended Neon as a sufficient power source for said teleporter. So now that we've learned more, we need to back up and readjust our timeline. Our beginning point, the first light, remains in place. However, in between that and the Venice incident, we now place Chamber's destruction of the Fracture teleporter, which caused this whole mess. After, the Venice incident and the Duality cinematic come just as before. Next comes the retake cinematic where we're introduced to Yoru and the idea that the Kingdom Corporation is hiding knowledge regarding Radianite. Shortly after, in 11 AFL, Chamber officially joins the Valorant protocol for his knowledge and blueprints to build Project Omega, the teleporter between the two Earths. Almost immediately after, Chamber provided a suggestion for a power source in the form of Neon as the 19th agent. And that brings us to Valorant's current story arc, the blackmailer and the Valorant secrecy being under threat of exposure. I've been covering this topic a good bit over on TikTok, so if you've made it this far in the video, be sure to follow me over there to get daily Valorant lore bits. Everything we know about the blackmailer can be summed up pretty quickly. In short, they're searching for someone they know, someone they believe Valorant has taken, and they're threatening to expose all of the agent's secrets as well as bring the hidden protocol into the public eye. As a result of this, Viper insists,
"We need more scouts. You have to stop relying on Sova. Cypher's network is invaluable, but it's a crutch. It doesn't replace our need for agents in the field. If we're going to survive, we need more information. We need more eyes."
She doesn't think Sova and Cypher are enough anymore, and she's kinda got a point. We know that the blackmailer is somewhere in Turkey, and we know that Sova is mounting a strike team to apprehend this threat. He's taking Cypher, Neon, Chamber, Breach, and KO with him. Not really the most meta team, but I'm sure they'll get the job done. But that's as far as the Valorant timeline takes us for now. It'll be really interesting to see where it goes from here as the game grows and the agents continue to be added. I'm excited to see where the story will lead. So far, I couldn't be happier with how Riot has handled this, and if you made it to the end of this video, I applaud you. This was a bit of a long one, so thanks for sticking around. If you enjoyed this, consider liking the video and subscribing. There's more lore content on its way. But while we're talking about the agents of Valorant, can Riot nerf Neon? I mean, she's just a battery after all.